or 2020 come to order. Has everybody a chance to look over the minutes?
I read over the minutes. They seem to be okay. Make a motion that we accept them as written.
I'll second it.
Motion second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Everybody a chance to go through the claims.
I had also looked in line. Make a motion that we pay the claims.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second on the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adam.
Hi, everyone. Mark had asked me to join today to kind of fill you guys in on what's going on with the SRF project and the change order we've been working on. I'm going to share my screen, and this is my first time on a Zoom meeting, so bear with me. Oh, the host has disabled screen sharing. Well, I guess I'm not sharing my screen. So, broad strokes, what we're doing is trying to incorporate some demolition work into the project. We've got a balance on the SRF loan left after the water treatment plant was finished, and we want to consider demolishing well number 1, which is at the intersection of Broadway and Poplar, just south of the tracks. And a second location, which is well number 3 and water treatment plant number 1, and that's located on the same side as the smaller elevated tank at the intersection of Water Tower and North Street. In order for SRF to let us spend their money on this demolition work, they have some boxes that they want us to check. First is, are we going to impact any historic properties? Secondly, environmental impacts. Are we going to ruin a wetlands? And third, do you own the property? And that's where we're running into a roadblock. Well 3 and water treatment plant 1 is documented but owned by the town, reported properly on the GIS. We should have no troubles with SRF approving that. 1 being close to the railroad tracks. That is not recorded in the town's name. So if you were to go to the county GIS and Google that property, it would show that the railroad owns it. And that's where we're at now. So sent our surveyor, Ron Nolan, to do some deed research down at the courthouse. And he's gone back to the 30s at this point. From what we understand, and we being conversations I've had with Don Roberts, that site could have been purchased as far back as the 20s. So I have Ron to make a second trip to the courthouse and see if there's any kind of record that we haven't been able to find so far. Any questions up to this point? So if Ron is able to find the deed or any kind of record of ownership in the town's name, I think that should be a pretty straightforward process to bring that forward to SRF, say, hey, here's where it's at. And if we have that documentation recorded properly or not, I think they may look favorably on that and let us do the work and record after. But that's something that, Mark, I definitely would like to talk through with you and get your comfort level for, do we wait and confirm the ownership first, then proceed with the work? And that's kind of what I want to open it up to the council tonight. Have that discussion of, is this something we would like to put a pin in and wait to confirm the land ownership, knowing that could push the work out several months if we have to confirm the deed. And then Mark, you might be able to speak to the time frame a little confidently than I can. And then the other option would be just eliminating this portion of the change order work. So that would look like demolishing well 3 and repurposing water treatment plant 1, but well 3 and the building on site would have to stay in place, and then that would be demolished outside of the SRF project.
If
So
you're
we
done,
can't-
the only thing I might add is Don has a letter from the B&O Railroad addressed to the council. What year was that, Don?
In the late 70s or early 80s, if I'm recall.
Yeah, yeah. Showing that they disclaimed any kind of ownership in that land. So,
If I could interject there,
yeah.
that letter was in addressed to particular parcels, and they weren't specifically this parcel. Now they're on the same street down the road, so one could assume that, hey, this whole railroad debacle applies to the block, but that would be a big assumption.
Right. And generally, people ownership of land is through records at the recorder's office. If you don't have it recorded in there, then technically you don't own it. That doesn't mean that we don't deserve it or we didn't acquire it at some point. But at this point, there's no evidence of that. And so I'd feel reluctant advising anybody to just tear down or destroy property on land that we can't establish ownership of. Now, if we go back farther, Don, didn't you say that there's maybe in the 20s, there was a conveyance of the land to the council or something of that nature? I can't hear Don, but
I can't either.
Either. It's on mute now. It's on mute.
Yeah, it's on mute.
There you
Now
go.
oh,
Oh, you just turned it off again, Don. There you go. Try something.
Turn volume up.
Okay, there you are. Probably need to move one of those speakers closer.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's better.
Better.
What was your question, Mark?
that you thought there was some evidence in the 20s that the land had been conveyed to the council, or there was some kind of memorandum or a council vote or something that dealt with the ownership of the land.
Well, I'm not, after all the research that I've done, I'm not sure that there was ever anything done with that piece of property other than take it over the way they did back in 1906, 1907, looking at the minutes. And so I would have to agree with Adam and Mark that we take this part out of the project, go ahead and do our due diligence in getting that piece of property recorded into the town of Morristown's name, and then take the well out of service and take down the building on our own.
Yeah. The only way to get legal title to the property for the town is one of two ways. It's either the declaratory judgment proceeding through the courts or an eminent domain proceeding. And
That's kind of what I thought.
yeah, either way, it's going to take, it's going to be months. We'd be lucky to get it done by the end of the year, probably. So I mean, I don't want to hold up the project, but I don't think we can go forward, at least on this property, without some kind of legal determination that we own the property. So I don't think there's any real question about ownership at this point, but it hasn't been determined and we can't find anything on it. So whatever happened in the past is the past and we got to go forward. And so I need the authorization from the council at this point to file a lawsuit so we can determine if we own the property.
I make a motion, we go forward.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we go forward. We're finding out who owns that and get that taken care of.
I'll second.
We moved in second to proceed forward with Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then I'll follow up with another motion that we drop that off our list of wants with the SRF loan and continue with what's going on up on the hill. Taking plant number 1 out and taking out the well.
I'll second.
We moved in second to proceed on with the part on top of the hill. All in favor?
Aye.
Does that make sense there, Aaron? Adam? Sorry.
That's my brother's, Aaron.
Sorry, Adam.
No, absolutely, that makes sense.
Okay.
We'll proceed with just well 3 and water treatment plant 1. I think there might be a little bit of backtracking we have to do since we've already advertised that, hey, we are going to demolish well 1. Dawn will likely need to advertise scope of this work, but that's a small piece. So yeah, that's good direction, and I think big picture, I'm hesitant to pull work out of SRF jobs because that's why they're there to get the work done, to get it all done by a contractor that knows what they're doing.
Good.
It's all demolition work, so anybody can knock a building down, and there's a whole lot of increased costs that I would see associated with it being done outside of the project.
Okay.
That all, Adam?
Yes, unless anybody has questions.
Okay,
Thanks,
that's
Adam.
fine with me.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Okay, old business.
I just got off the phone with Randy regarding the Fletcher house. The last he heard was that he had spoke to somebody. They were supposed to have a construction company in there to work on that place. I guess they hung a new door, obviously, but nothing else has been done. He said he gave whoever he spoke to Elaine's information that they would have to contact her for permitting and that type of thing. That obviously hasn't occurred. Otherwise, we would have been, we'd know about it. So I think we need to find out who these jokers are again. Yes, I said jokers. Going back on the horn again. We want to get something done on this house. Don, do you have a contact?
No, I do not.
You do not.
No.
Are they paying taxes on that property? Do we know?
We'd have to go down to the courthouse to find that out, or the annex.
Okay.
You're breaking up, Larry. Are you talking about the Fletcher Street property?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody's maintaining it. I mean, the grass is getting cut every week, so.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know what's going on with it. But
Other old business.
Dave, we talked a few months ago about giving the police car to the fire department. Are we still interested in doing that?
Are we still doing that?
I talked to Brandon a couple of weeks ago. He said they'd be interested in taking it.
I've got no problem with that. We talked about it over a year ago doing so, or 9 months ago at least.
They're going to use it for rescue things, what they're thinking.
I think
Right.
so.
Is it pretty good shape, Henry?
Yep.
Under other old business, I got the 500 East project from Chris. He explained to me that they will do this road and it'll cost the county $150,000 to $200,000. They will widen the road, take care of all the easements of the neighbors, cut the riprap, widen it, and put whatever asphalt needs to bring it up to, he said, like they would any other road, grind it, and stripe it in the fall.
Then we have to take over the responsibility of maintaining it afterwards.
Right.
Did you say they're going to wait until the fall?
No, he wants to start on it in a couple weeks.
Okay, they'll stripe it in the fall then.
In the fall, they do all their striping.
Okay.
I've got to hang in there
told me
with
the culvert is probably better than one he could put in.
I've heard that.
And he will pour concrete. Henry, did they redo the railroad?
They've run the, they got the switch arms and the overhead and all that, but the actual crossing, no. It's the same crossing that's been there.
Okay, because he was talking, he had to run to the railroad crossing.
Yeah.
They did put some asphalt there in the tracks, it looks like.
Yeah, but the actual crossing, they didn't do.
Right.
He said it would take him 2 to 3 weeks to complete it. He would talk to Bungie and the companies out there, and they'll have to use 600 as the road. So we might want to, he wondered if we need to put some signage up when they start.
We can do like we did for the railroad and just barricade the piss out of it.
Yeah,
That seemed to work good. That seemed to work good, well enough, didn't it, Henry?
Yeah.
Here's the downside of that. We're stuck with that forever then, maintaining it, as Don has always told us.
well, you're also, then you have access to both sides of it. If you go to put something on the other side, Mark, isn't that correct? That you have can decide who hooks onto that road?
Yeah, if you got, you own both sides of it. Yeah.
But like Chris said, it's either that or you ain't gonna do anything. So.
But they went and did all that work over on 600. Okay, that's real fair.
I'm not into fair right now. I'm into improving the road.
At what cost? You guys want to do?
This is the road to our Teleplex Parkway. We maintain it. We have gotten community crossing grant. I think that, that would help in the future if we ever had to do something with it. So I am going to motion that we move forward. And Mark, you object to that?
No, I reviewed the agreement. The agreement's valid. There's nothing wrong with the agreement. I've got it here in front of me. You want me to go over it with anybody?
Do you see anything that needs to be added that they have missed or needs?
No, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Don, is that something we have to add on as mileage to the town, or is that even going to help?
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of mileage there that we can add. It'll come into the town's best once they get everything done. Yes.
think they're putting us between a rock and a hard spot. But
Doesn't sound like there's much of an option. We either
No.
accept it or it doesn't get done. So
that's called blackmail.
Yeah.
I put that in the record.
So is that a motion, Christie, or?
Yes, I make a motion that we accept the memorandum and move forward to have the road repaired and take it over.
You're gonna accept the proposal from the county, is that what you're saying?
That is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's what she said.
Okay. The motion, need a second.
I'll second it. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Motion
3 ayes.
carries.
2 no
3
vote.
ayes.
Well, you haven't asked for a nay.
Any nays?
I'll say no.
I'm gonna abstain. It needs to be done, but I don't agree how they're doing it, so.
Okay. That's basically what I'm
One
saying.
nay, one
Okay.
abstain.
3, 1, and 1 abstain.
Yep. Any other old business?
Dave? You go back to
What's
the
that?
police car.
Okay, back to the police car. You want a
Yeah,
motion
I have
on that, Don?
Motion to donate it to the fire department, or yes, to the fire department.
I got a question on that, Don. How do we want to do that title on that? Just give them the car, title and all, or?
That's what I would do, yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion. We give the fire department the car with the title.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
5-0.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so.
Any other old business? New business. I had some conversation today with Tammy about a possible subject living in a trailer.
It's behind Craney's auction house along the railroad track on the county property back there. There's a guy cutting trees down and cleaning the property for Craney. I don't know if he's there 24/7, but he is back there. He's got a trailer on the county property back there.
And he has a dog.
He also
Go ahead.
has a dog that gets loose constantly.
Yep.
I think we need to get him out of there. Because he's not, there's no
Like he's-
sanitation. Do what?
I can get a hold of Robert Lewis since it's on county property. It's not in the town of Morristown. I'll have to go through him. Which I have no problem with that.
so that's not part of the town back there.
20 feet behind the building, that second building back there, 20 feet behind that is where it turns to county from there all the way over to Asbury Cemetery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's all county.
So you'd have to have a county permit to stay there, right? Or that's owned by Craney.
I don't think the county, he would have to go get a variance from the county to stay there, yes.
Okay.
I'll give
Well, let's-
Robert Lewis a call and talk to him, get him to take care of it.
That would be great.
What's he doing with this sewage? Is it just,
I don't know.
that's a concern for me.
The first time I've seen water to the trailer was today. He's stringing a garden hose to the trailer, but I don't know if there's a porta pot back here. Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know.
It
Well, it's
kinda
not,
sounds
it's
like-
not a,
Yeah, it sounds like it could end up in a mess.
Yep.
let's get Lewis on it.
Yep. No problem.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Don, how's the Willard property coming?
I haven't been back, Don Smith.
I was back there yesterday, and it's coming along real well. I mean, there's still a lot to do, but they've made a lot of progress with it.
I walked back
The
there after our
rain-
last meeting and I was surprised how much they had cleaned up.
Yeah, well, they've got a lot more done since then.
It was wide
I'll take
open, wasn't it, Tammy?
Back there tomorrow and send them to
Pardon?
everybody.
It was wide open, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Compared.
I'll take some pictures tomorrow and send them to everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Don.
On that, Don, you and I talked about that house back there.
Uh-huh.
We might be ahead to contact someone like Brian Batten just to see what he would take to take it out of there.
Okay, I can call him tomorrow.
I mean, it might
Now,
be
since
more
that's in the
cost-
county, he can dig a hole and bury it, can he?
I could in the basement and burn it. If it was mine.
Dig a hole and burn it. That's what I meant. Dig a hole and burn it, not bury it.
I'm afraid of the burning it, Henry. Maybe some complaints from up on the hill up there.
We can wait till the wind's blowing from the north.
But I just thought about it, Don, and you guys got enough to do without tearing a house down.
It's up to you guys.
I mean, you really don't have the equipment either to do it right.
No, not that. You know, the backhoe's the biggest piece of equipment we've got, so. But I don't think it would take a lot to knock it down either.
Well, wouldn't we take everything down back there? I mean, there's like, what?
Larry, you're
There's 3
breaking
or
up
4
so bad. I
buildings.
can't.
Yeah, I haven't been back there looking.
Is there 3 or 4 buildings?
3.
I don't-
Actually, there's
I don't-
4, but
I don't think Rusty's doing anything with the buildings anyway because they're. I mean, weren't those our
A lot of
responsibility,
them.
or was Rusty doing something with them?
all Rusty's doing is taking the scrap iron. and
Right.
Henry,
Right.
how much trash is back there?
There is a lot of lumber back there. There's a lot of building material that, like vinyl siding and stuff like that.
There's a bus full of lumber.
There's a barn full of lumber.
There's a
and
barn full of
probably-
real nice lumber.
So
Be nice to find somebody to use it.
Turn that into a park area. Why not have somebody in there clean it up, do it right, so that you don't have to worry about somebody stepping on something later on.
Yeah, that makes the most
Possible
sense.
for the money, but I think in the long run, you'll be ahead.
Yeah, it's
Bush hog it
probably,
all out.
I kind of agree with Don. I think we need to look at getting it done correctly so that stuff doesn't work its way back to the surface and we make sure we got it all taken care of appropriately.
I don't really want
Unfortunately,
to
there'll
start
be a
burying.
cost involved.
I really would rather stay away from burying stuff next to the well field too.
Well, I meant burn, not bury.
No.
And you don't like burn, so why don't we go to a source like, is that something Blue River Foundation would fund? A cleanup for park?
We could see. Do you think the waste board would help with that, Ralph?
I don't know how to find out, Dave. We can ask.
I mean, we get the bulk of it out of there. If we can just get, like you're saying, get it cleaned up right, past the big stuff.
When we get a quote on what it would cost, then we'll know what we're looking at.
There you
Right.
go. Okay. You check on that then?
You do that, Don?
Me, Don, or him, Don?
You, Don?
You don't.
Okay. Any other new business? Okay, Don.
Well, each one of you got a copy of the April bank reconciliation and also a copy of the April fund statement. We're still above board on everything. MDH is running a little lower than I like to see it, but I don't know whether you're gonna do any street work or how much street work you might want to try to do. I know there's some patching and stuff you probably ought to have Grims come in and do. But other than that, we're in pretty decent shape. We got
Good.
We did get casino money in May. We got half of what we normally get. I suspect that June, we always get it a month behind. It would surprise me if we get anything at all, but we still have $250,000 of Racino money, so we're still decent shape. The only major expenditure to come out of that is that I'll pay off the fire station, and that bill comes due in, I believe it's either July or August. We only have the final payment on it.
Cool.
Good.
Don, have you heard when they're gonna open the Racino up again?
No, I have not.
I think entertainment goes into the 4th stage. Or I just read something about entertainment. It's after this. It's after July something.
Okay. Anything else, Don?
The only other thing that people ought to be thinking, or you people should be thinking about, is that we're starting to get information from Department of Local Government Finance. We'll start the budget process. Normally we started in August, but they're pushing to get things going in July. So if you have any special requests that need to be put in the budget, either for 2021 or even finishing out 2020 after mid-year, I'd like to know about it so I can get those numbers in my head of how we want to proceed on with the budget.
Well, here's a thought. We might want to consider working on the alleys if they're going to tear up the main street next year
Okay.
and paving them. Just a thought.
Yeah, we've got some alleys that's pretty bad shape.
We got some alleys that are in real bad shape.
We got people who are going to be using those alleys instead of the main roads. Something to think about.
Okay. Henry?
Well, thanks for the time off. Not like I had a good vacation, but thanks for letting me take that time off.
Well, you didn't have to kill yourself to get it.
Well, I got lucky. Let's put it that way. Out at the industrial park, back when Caleb worked, Bungie took the railroad crossing out at next to Wood Street in Industrial Drive. It's never been put back correctly. We always have to go beg them to put gravel in there so you don't bounce your car to pieces. So I stopped to ask the guy to put gravel in there. He called it his speed bump. He said he wished the other crossing was that rough because people actually stopped. So I went and asked Brad if they could get that crossing fixed. It's real rough. It's real bad to cross. And it's been how long since Caleb's been here? And it's never been fixed.
Wow.
So I did go talk to Brad about that at Bungie, and he said he would check into it and try to get it taken care of.
Cool.
So, the other thing, Monday at 10 o'clock, I'm going down to get the lift for adjusting the cameras at the park. And while we got it, we're going to replace ropes on flagpoles and fix pulleys that broke. So just to let you know, we're going to do that. And I'm pretty sure Brad got everything done or wired up anyway. So I'll be done with that. We did get a bulletproof vest in today. I did not get a trauma plate, which is a ceramic plate that goes in the vest to protect the heart. I would like permission to go spend some money and get one of those. So if I get shot with a rifle round, it will stop it before it gets to the heart. It shouldn't be over $100.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And then with the old police car, there is Morristown on the sides in white lettering. Do we want to take those off and let them start from scratch? Or do we want to leave that on that car?
We're
What
giving
do
them
we
the
do?
truck. Let them take care of it.
Okay, so take it off.
I'd talk to Brandon and see what he wants to do, Henry. That's just my
Okay.
opinion.
And then on the passenger side where the cover over the doors blew off, we took it in, they put a new one on. It lasted 3 days and blew off again. Ralph, you said something about getting that fixed. It'd be $100 to get 2 new ones, and C&J Auto would put them on so that they would stay on there instead of blowing off in 3 days like the last ones did. Do you want me to do that or give it to them as is?
I missed what was blowing off.
The outside trim outside the doors,
Oh.
the shiny plastic that's missing off the passenger side, both of them. It's $100 to fix. Do you want to fix it or send it as is?
Fix it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fix it then. Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's all I've got.
Okay, Henry. Don?
I just got a couple of small things. Number one, I need to get some kind of definitive deal on the dump. As far as I know that it's for the town property owners. I understand that it's just for lawn waste. We chased some people out over the weekend that were trying to dump some 2-foot in diameter and 8-foot logs in there. A lot of the problem is the fact that 25% of the town has a key to that. So that key also opens every padlock in town. So, you know, that gets people in Tower 1. It gets, you know, any padlock we've got in town, that key fits. So I either need to change padlocks, I need to get new ones, different ones, whatever, but we need to do something, make a decision on that dump.
We had no list of key holders.
I'm sorry?
We have no list of key holders.
No. Not at this point, no.
Well, something else we have to decide is when we grind that stuff up, that machine's really expensive per hour.
Right.
And I think in the past, the waste districts took care of that. Ralph, do you have any idea if they're going to?
They still will. They just did Shelbyville's a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I don't think
But
we
logs,
got
that's-
quite enough to get them up here now. Do you, Dawn?
No. We've got the dump in real good shape right now.
Yeah.
But logs that size won't go through that chipper either. So
Well,
we've
we
either
need
got to pay to have those hauled off, or we've got to leave them laying there long enough till they rot, or, you know, I've heard talk a couple of times about burning that stuff. So
Or
Who,
somebody wants some firewood.
I'm sorry.
Well, to clarify, I was called and told it was limbs from Gray's, which is on South Street, not trees.
Right.
And
No, I understand that.
I told them you can dump limbs, and I had Tom unlock it, but apparently the dummy locked it and tried to come back the next day without permission from anybody. So,
Right.
you know, since my name was brought up, I wanted to make sure you knew I didn't tell them they could bring trees in there.
No, I know that.
So you take care of that, Don?
Are we going to change locks?
I think you got to.
Seems like years ago we went through the same story.
Yep.
We changed locks and somehow keys got out to everybody, or we didn't do it. I don't know how that ended up. But
I don't
Kim,
think we
give an
ever
estimate of
changed.
what. Go ahead.
I don't think we ever changed them.
Okay. Well, let's see what it costs for new locks then.
Change locks. Also, we've got people from, I know that it's just for the town to bring yard waste, but people from Blue River Trails are coming in. Do we want to continue to let Blue River Trails do that or not?
Not until they're annexed.
No? Okay.
I wouldn't.
Is everybody on the same page with that?
Right.
Everybody all
fine
right
with
with
it.
that?
I'm
Yes.
good with it.
Okay with me.
All right, sounds good. The other thing is, I was mowing the town hall the other day, and we need to get some color in there. I got to go to Home Depot tomorrow. Would somebody care if I bought flowers and mulch? And you know, we got half a dozen concrete pots there that we've got dead flowers in. So, anybody care if I get some flowers and mulch?
I'm good with that.
I'll go with it.
Everybody,
I'm okay
is
with
that
it.
good?
Good.
All
Yeah.
right.
Plant some posies.
All right, plant some posies. Okay, that's all I got.
No planning, Larry?
Huh?
No planning, right?
Nothing.
Any miscellaneous?
Dave, I still got something.
Okay.
You remember Rose Coates that fell in our pothole
Yeah.
last year? She filed a tort claim against the town, you know,
Right.
and that didn't go anyplace. The claim was denied by our insurance company, and so she went down and got an attorney by the name of Heidi Kendall Sage in Madison, Indiana, and they filed a lawsuit on May the 14th. So our insurance company hired a firm called Selective Staff Counsel of Indiana, and the managing attorney's name is Stephen A. Simituk. I've talked to him a couple of times. They're in there to protect the town's interest and also the interests of the insurance company, obviously. I talked to Don Roberts, I don't know, about a week ago, and he didn't know, and I don't know if we have a deductible or not. And the and I made a call into Brady, and he hadn't called me back yet. So I don't think it'd be a bad idea if I put my appearance in for the town at this point, just kind of monitor the lawsuit. I'm not saying anybody's going to sell the town down or anything like that, but if we have a $5,000 or $10,000 deductible, it would make a difference. And we don't think there's any negligence on our part at all in this thing. So with your permission, I'll enter appearance for the town, and then I can report back, periodically how things are going. There's going to be a trial. There's going to discovery, and things like that. But I think it's a good idea if I put an appearance in, and so that everybody at least have to copy me with everything that's going on. Don, do you have anything to add on that?
No, I think we need to have our own representative there. Yes.
I make the motion that we have Mark step in and help out or be the ears for us and the eyes for us on this case.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's all I have. Thanks.
I got something under miscellaneous. I've been talking back and forth with Andy Longwell last week. And he's getting the kids' cars out to them. He did last Thursday for the Derby Day race. I was hoping he'd be on here tonight. Has anybody heard anything about Derby Days yet?
Not a bit on my end. Anybody?
Mine
No, I
says
have.
probably ought to put in for the permit to shut the road down.
He, some people's told me that the Lions Club aren't going to have any vendors, but they haven't had a lot of vendors the way it's been in the past. I don't know anything about the adult race. Elaine, have you heard anything more on that?
No, we're just kind of waiting to see what's going on. We've reached out to the drivers and the owners of the cars to see what they want to do. Other than that, I know the Pog Run is moving forward. We've got shirt design going. We've got sponsor letters out. So we're moving forward.
The kids really need their cars now because a lot of them totally repaint them and work them over, and it takes a couple months to do that. I think he's willing to look if we don't do it in July, maybe September sometime. I don't know what the openness will be at the end of July. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to go. And I haven't heard anything from anybody. Have you, Ralph? Or?
No, I haven't heard a word about anything.
I haven't heard anything from Morristown Matters or seen anything posted.
I think everybody's kind of waiting to see, okay, who calls it? Who basically says Derby Days is going to be postponed to another date? Who calls that? Who's the one that does it? And I think that's what people are waiting to find out, if it's going to go forward or somebody's going to say, no, it's going to be changed.
Well, is Morristown Matters the one that has been in charge of the Derby Days?
I think they do the parade. I think they're in charge of the parade. I know, of course, we know what the Lions Club does, but I think Morristown Matters is more involved in doing the parade, and then they do some kind of little run, collar run or something for the kids out at the park. And fireworks. So
I know a lot of the smaller organizations in town, that's kind of how they make their money. So I hate to see the kids come up hurting. Maybe we need to have a meeting or something with Morristown Matters and some of those people to see what they intend to do. Maybe the Lions Club and somebody from the chamber, and maybe for the next meeting, and that way at least we know.
Well, and I think that's something that needs to be decided sooner than later.
Right.
Yeah, that should have been done by now.
Right.
I mean, yeah, next June.
I mean,
Let's see,
I know our race is moving forward because we're hoping, this is 2 months away for Derby Days, basically. So we're moving forward, hoping that everything's going to be kind of somewhat back to normal, maybe not normal, but at least somewhat normal. We don't want to put anything off until the last minute. So people need to know, okay, we're going to have Derby Days. Let's move forward. Let's get everything going. We don't need to wait 2 or 3 weeks and make a decision.
Last time I spoke, we still got to get the organizers involved with this. We don't run this; it's kind of the town's doing.
Elaine, you have a list of usually everybody does something in this, don't you?
I don't, but I can get in contact with Morristown Matters and let them know. I mean, do you want to meet with them and get this rolling, or do you want to kind of say, let's wait, which is the later we wait, the harder it is for these small organizations to put something on and get things going? I mean,
Why don't we rattle the trees and see if we can get something put together for a quick meeting on Zoom next week?
I say the sooner the better, because
Yeah.
I mean, my family's in the same boat. So, we've got to know if we can still hold our pog run if, okay, you guys say Derby Days is canceled. Well, if everything's lifted by then and it should be kind of somewhat normal, can we still do it? And I'm sure other organizations are going to want to do stuff like Morristown Matters with the things that they've done, and the fireworks and the kids things. And I mean, the sooner something's decided on, the better it is for the people that are trying to make a profit to provide for something. It's going to be better.
Right. Well, why don't you contact?
Can you try to
You
set
already
something
know.
up?
I can get a hold of the contacts with Morristown Matters. I've got Andrea Parker's phone number. I can get in contact with her, which she's with the Lions Club. I don't have any contacts to get a hold of anybody with the Boys and Girls Scouts. Somebody could do that.
Andy Longwell and Ashley.
Do we want to meet via Zoom, or do we want to meet in public?
How many people you
June
got?
the 3rd is
You're talking
next
less than 10
Wednesday.
people.
And
What's
you'd have to
that?
call a special meeting if you're going to do it next Wednesday. The next regular meeting's on the 10th. So either
Yeah,
the 3rd or the 10th.
That's what I'd say.
It's got to be done soon. I mean, a decision has to be made.
Let's find out next Wednesday.
Would there be more space and easier cleaned and all that at the fire department in the room?
Yeah, nobody has been in the community room since all this has gone on that I'm aware of. So it's probably good and safe. And there's plenty of room that everybody can spread out and talk.
Okay.
That would work.
So I
Henry,
can
was-
get hold of Morristown Matters and the Lions Club, and then get a hold of who? Andy Longwell?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you his number, Lane. I've got it.
All right.
And his wife does the Girl Scouts,
Yeah.
so
So
we should be able
we
to
need
get
her
both boys and
Ashley.
girls with both of them.
Yeah.
Henry, how long does it take to get the permit?
Normally, it doesn't take very long.
If that's something we ought to go ahead and do. We can always not use it, but
Well, that's what I was thinking. I probably
we
ought to
don't,
go
we
ahead
don't
and
want to
tell
lose
you.
it. We don't want to lose it.
Go ahead and
I
do
don't
that.
want to not have Derby Days.
I hear you.
I'll get it put in.
Well, let's go for that. And then you said next Wednesday night is when we might try that, if it works for everybody.
Time?
I don't care.
I don't know.
6.
6 o'clock.
Shoot for
You'll have
6.
to post that too, won't we, Don?
Oh, you shouldn't have to. You're not gonna have a council meeting, you're just gonna have probably a couple of council members there.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll make
And
any
we're going to meet at the,
Fire station.
The fire station. That's what we'll do.
Unless you want me to consider it a meeting.
How many council members want to come?
I'll
make
try to be there.
I'd like to be there.
I'll call a special meeting then.
Okay. That'll
To
work.
make a decision, you'd have to have a special meeting.
Okay. Any other miscellaneous?
Make a motion, meeting be adjourned.
I'll second it.
Motion to adjourn. Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Bye, Linda.
Thank you all.